Gooch, I got you. French, I got you. Woo, I got you. Fuck 'em. Mentally ill, please someone call a doctor. 911, it's emergency, go get a doctor. You don't know by now, boy, they call me Waka Flocka. Got a bad habit, I might OD of yappers. Whole bunch of choppers for my enemies. Devil into me, my mind on injury. I'm in front of the jury like I'm guilty. Shouted, try me, so I killed them off GP. Mom, I'm sorry, I can't let you bury. Don't worry, just commissary. And some letters plus some phone time, mama. What's the golden rule? Don't turn on my partners. I'ma ride, I'ma live, I'ma die for my motherfucking dogs. I'ma rob, I'ma steal, I'ma kill for my motherfucking dogs. I'ma ride, I'ma live, I'ma die for my motherfucking dogs. I'ma rob, I'ma steal, I'ma kill for my motherfucking dogs. I heard a lot of niggas dissing me, they let me know they missing me. I've been down for some months, now it's time to make history with these evil ass.
What's up, everybody? It is Cam Hand, the Fantasy Man, coming at you with the Week 13 Fantasy Recap video. This is post the Thanksgiving break. We got Christmas break coming up soon as well. Can't wait to see you guys for that break. I was thinking maybe if it's warm enough, we'll play another football game. Maybe we could play basketball again. But anyway, details for that will be upcoming. But let's get into it. We got a Week 13 recap and just some background information. Hunter and Dylan, they both came over, spent Thanksgiving with me and Caitlin's families. So we had dinner at Caitlin's family's house. So that will kind of go into a lot of, not a lot, but some of what I talk about here, including my weekly shout out. We got to give it to Hunter. We played Mario Party. It's a very competitive game. I would say with people that I know. And if you've ever played Mario Party with Riley, you know what Riley's bringing to the table. Riley is weirdly, when those Switch controllers get turned on in Mario Party, you start playing Mario Party, he just becomes the most insufferable person ever to play against in Mario Party. He's super cocky. He thinks he wins all the time, even though he doesn't win Mario Party all the time. He's just one of the most cocky Mario Party players you'll ever meet. And Hunter showed up underdog in kind of shocked the world when he beat Riley, and he beat me. There were other people playing, but beat Riley in Mario Party. Just those extra bonus stars at the end of the game. If you ever played, he got like all 3 of them. Shocked the world. Ended up beating Riley by 2 stars. He really put Riley in his place. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Hunter for smoking Riley and again putting Riley in his place when it comes to Mario Party. Best matchup, I'm gonna go Cameron versus Ash. It was basically a must win for me. That came down to Monday Night Football. I don't think there were any other than Preston's. Preston's game was kind of a must win for him, but there weren't many must wins out there. Hunter's was a must win, but it wasn't particularly close. So I'm giving myself best matchup for my win against Ashton. Worst matchup was Will versus Bobby. Who cares about those bums? Worst injury luck. I'm going to go with me. Christian McCaffrey out for the year. There were some other injuries. I gave it to Dylan for Devontae Smith, Eckler, and Josh Downs last week. Those are still impacting him. But me losing CMC was a major, major, major blow. I realize he hasn't been that good this year, but he had 8 points in the first quarter for me. And then he got injured. I think he was making a comeback, and I really needed to start him this week with all my buys coming up, but I unfortunately will not have him. So worst injury luck, me. Most unlucky, we're going to give it to Matt. 142 in a loss is crazy. That's a lot of points. Also, he's in Asia. I texted him about something earlier. And he expressed to me that he is in Asia right now. So I don't know what circumstances brought him to Asia, but I can't help but believe that they were some sort of unlucky circumstances. So anyway, Matt with the big loss, and also the fact he's in Asia, pretty unlucky. Most lucky, I'm just going to give it to Bobby. He's winning in fantasy despite not caring about fantasy football at all. He's doing it in both Dynasty and Redraft. He's somehow winning without paying any attention. So you gotta acknowledge Bob's luck there. Dumbest move, Dylan. Dylan played Kareem Hunt, and he is also rostering 2 kickers that both played this week and aren't good. So I could understand rostering 2 kickers if one of them was on a bye, and you were like, oh, like my really good kicker's on a bye, I need to pick up a receiver in the meantime. That's why I have 2 kickers. No, both of Dylan had 2 active kickers on his roster this week, and one's like the 12th ranked kicker, and the other one's the 15th ranked kicker. I don't know why Dylan has those 2. I don't know why he has 2 kickers. Also, Kareem Hunt, as we have all known, is going to drop off heavy when Pacheco comes back. Shocker, Pacheco came back and Hunt played like 30% of the snaps in the first week that Pacheco's back. So, dumb move by Dylan. Matt, I just gave Matt the smartest move because he was the most efficient manager. Nothing else stood out to me. Don't really care. Not a ton of good pickups. My Nick Westbrook-Ikhine pick, I'm going to probably play him this week. He's been very good, very touchdown dependent though. But he was a good pickup on my bench, and I will be starting him most likely this week. Stock rising, I'm going to give it to me. I mean, just because I've had 4 wins in a row. Sutton, Ridley, McLaurin, Harrison, Elijah Moore, and even Pittman are really starting to produce. All my guys that underperformed at the beginning of the year are really all starting to turn up and show out and really starting to produce. My team, I really like my team right now. Now, I lost Christian McCaffrey. If Christian McCaffrey was still on my active roster, he's on my IR. If he was still on my team, then I'd be feeling really good, but he's not. But 4 wins in a row, I feel like, is enough to justify a stock rising. Stock falling is Preston. I mainly just put that because his loss this week pretty much cemented his playoff, or his loss this week pretty much cemented his toilet bowl status. He's not making to the playoffs after this week's loss. It's possible he would have to outscore Hunter by 82 points, and Hunter would have to lose. So it's possible, but just, Preston sort of being eliminated from playoff contention by his loss this week with a low score, I believe, points to his stock going down. Best player, we're just going to give it to Hunter. I mean, he had the highest score of the week. It was a massive matchup, I believe, against Matt. And it was sort of not a must win, but it was sort of a must win. If he didn't win this week, he would have been in serious trouble to not make playoffs. So, really just him coming up clutch in the biggest week of his season, I believe, makes him the best player, basically. Sorry. Can't talk today. Worst player. Oh, dropped my phone. Worst player, Will. I mean, he's lost 10 in a row. I don't know if anyone, I think maybe Sam lost 10 in a row this season, but Will's 10 in a row deserves to be commemorated with worst player. Hunter had that dog. He had the highest score in a must-win matchup. And he also beat Riley in Mario Party. As I previously discussed, he really just popped off this week. This was a big week for him, so got to give him that dog. Season segments. We got the rankings here. Dylan and Matt stay 1 and 2. As I stated, I really like Hunter's team as well. Hunter's team is good. I think Hunter has the 3rd best team, legitimately. Broker shoots down a little bit. Doug, climbs up. Big win for Doug. I jump up. I would say, if you actually look at my roster, I do think I have a better team than Ash. Preston drops down. And then you see the bad players at the bottom there. Bobby, Greg, Sam, Will. Dabs. Okay, so Ashton for always making me feel bad about giving him dabs. 5 dabs. I will explain. so often I give Ashton dabs. I gave him dabs about the hair. And he was like, oh, well, my special needs coworkers, like I'm doing it for them. And so then I feel bad for making fun of his hair. I make fun of him for celebrating Thanksgiving on a Sunday. I stand by that. And then he's like, sorry, my parents are divorced and I have to go do this and that. I'm like, okay, well, great. Now I feel bad about that. I remember at the beginning of the season, I gave him dabs for not going to the draft kind of party at Greg and Doug's house, and he was like, well, they didn't invite me. And I'm like, okay, well, now I feel bad about that. I'm sick of giving Ashton dabs and having to feel bad about it. I'm sick of it. So 5 dabs for Ashton. Broker for not showing up to basketball and not showing up for anything, 8 dabs. Broker, as we discussed, it seems like he lives in Dublin, Georgia. He can't make a drive up. He can't make a, like, hey, you know, he doesn't want to hang out with anybody. He doesn't want to go play basketball. He used to love basketball. We played basketball this week, me, Dylan Preston, a couple people, Greg. But Cameron Broker can't make an appearance. That's dabs. 8 dabs. Greg for not giving me my change in basketball. 2 dabs. I made a jump shot when we were just shooting around before we started playing basketball the other day. Swished it. Greg caught the ball and took it. He walked away. Everybody's been there. When you make a shot, you give change. You pass the ball back if you make the shot. And Greg didn't. Greg didn't give me my change. So 2 dabs. Greg for not knowing Jaden Daniels' name, 4 dabs. He thought it was Jaden McDaniels. Preston for telling me Emmett was coming to basketball and then not bringing him, 2 dabs. Needless to say, I was super disappointed. I was very excited to see Emmett on the basketball court, but Emmett did not end up showing up, which was devastating. Dylan for hyping up good old days, 4 dabs. While I was in town, me and Andrew were trashing good old days and saying how lame good old days is. And then Dylan, swoops in and is like, guys, good old days is so fun. We should go there on Thanksgiving because they're doing karaoke. We really should. And I was like, Dylan, read the room, buddy. Dylan is a noted good old days supporter, and I feel like he needs to get dabs for that. 4 dabs. Dylan for vaping at Thanksgiving dinner. It should be more than that. 3 dabs. Again, we were at our dinner table. We were at Thanksgiving dinner, again, at Caitlin's house with Caitlin's grandmother, my family, Caitlin's family, and Dylan's sitting there ripping cigs, ripping vapes at the table, blowing clouds for all to see. 3 dabs, should have been more. Dylan for checking somebody in Chinese checkers, 3 dabs. I don't know. I think that's what it's called when you jump over a piece. Like in regular checkers, if you take a piece, you jump over a piece, you then take that piece that you had jumped over. For any of you that have played Chinese checkers before, that's not how Chinese checkers work. You jump over pieces to get where you're going, but you don't ever take somebody else's piece off the board. Dylan, first move of the game, Dylan says he knows how to play Chinese checkers. First move of the game, jumps over somebody, picks up a piece, and is like, yeah, checkmate, buddy. And we're like, no, Dylan, that's not how you play Chinese checkers. 3 dabs, it was very embarrassing. Dylan for thinking Kareem Hunt would still be a workhorse back. 6 dabs. Also him not making a trade kind of goes in there. I know I've hit that a bunch, but I think it's really important to harp on. Dylan and Hunter for not even paying attention to the Thanksgiving games when they were important for them. 2 dabs. Again, Hunter and Dylan were over. They had a bunch of people playing in the Thanksgiving Day games. They didn't even watch a single minute of football. So that's dabs. If it were me and I had players playing in those games, it would be on my phone. I'd be watching. That's how I'd be locked in. And that's how I know them 2 aren't winning this year, is because they're not locked in. They don't have that dog. Dylan, Greg, Will for not responding to my super important ski trip text. 15 dabs. This is, I'm very upset about this because the ski trip, no thanks to Matt, the ski trip has died. The one that I was promoting. I sent a text because I'm still going. I'm just going to go with some other people. I sent a text just kind of confirming with those guys. I was like, hey guys, I know I know the ski trip's kind of dying and we can't go. Just let me know before I make my other plans. Are you sure that you can't go? None of the three of them responded. Dylan, Greg, or Will. Nobody responded. I just sent a super important like, hey guys, I know it's dead. Just making sure you guys don't want to go skiing. And nothing. Just all three of them, nothing. I called Dylan out on it in the chat. I say, oh, Dylan, I guess your phone doesn't work. And and then Dylan texts me separately and is like, hey, my phone's working. What's up? And I'm like, Dylan, what are you, like, look at your text, buddy. You didn't respond to my group text. Greg, didn't say anything. And then Will has texted me since and typed in the group chat. And they all just ignored my super important text. So it was pretty frustrating. Don't know if it's really coming across by how I'm describing it. But just imagine sending somebody a text and be like, hey, I really need a response on this ASAP. 4 days go by, no one says anything. And then they're like typing in the fantasy group chat. And you're like, you can't respond to my text? It's crazy. Dylan for making a big deal about him doing a fantasy podcast and then not doing it. 4 dabs. Dylan kept saying he was going to do a fantasy podcast. Never did it. Hunter for showing me his big move in Chinese checkers before he made the move so I could easily block it. 5 dabs. Again, we played Chinese checkers. Hunter looks at me before I'm up and he's like, hey, check this move out. And he points out the direction in which he's going to move his players as to beat me. And then I was like, why did you just show me that? Now I can just block it. So my next move, I literally just blocked the whole move that he laid out in front of me. 5 dabs. Matt for waiver claiming Jerome Ford. 4 dabs. That was super dumb. Dylan gets it with 37 dabs for his Chinese checkers shenanigans, his vaping at the Thanksgiving dinner table, and then also not responding to my super important ski texts. Most annoying is Will. For whatever reason, out of those 3 guys, him not responding to my text annoyed me the most. Also, he was the only one I didn't see when I was home. He avoided me like the plague. He didn't come to play football. And then, yeah, didn't see him while I was home. So that really made me salty. So Will, most annoying. Updated list right there. Next week's best matchup is Hunter versus Ashton. Hunter, it's sort of a must-win for both. I mean, Hunter, if he loses, he could still get out of playoffs. And it's at least important for seeding. I do predict Hunter will win. Random rankings. Now, this goes back to when we talked about how Will doesn't take the trash out. Will apparently, according to roommates and several sources, apparently Will does not take the trash out of his apartment. He refuses to. He will stack the trash up on the side of the house or inside the kitchen instead of taking the trash out. And this has been confirmed by multiple sources. So I thought, who are the best roommates? We got me. I'm a phenomenal roommate, relatively clean, do my thing, hang out, invite people over. Just an overall solid roommate. Greg, I feel like, is pretty good. He's clean. He does his job. He does yard work and whatnot. I feel like Greg's good. Preston's pretty good, presuming that his wife and child don't come along with him, because then that would make him a worse roommate. Matt, I feel like Matt's good. He's got a pool table, apparently, a ping pong table. He's always bragging about that. Doug, lived with Doug. Doug's fine. Dylan, fine. Both of them have long hair, which can become a problem, but they're both fine. Sam, I would think would just probably, you probably would never see Sam if you were his roommate. You probably wouldn't even know he existed. He'd probably just stay in his room, not talk to anybody, but, that's that. Hunter is okay. As I understand, he's a relatively messy fella. Oftentimes falls asleep on the couch. Ashton, I feel like would be a very passive-aggressive roommate. Be like, wow, like, he'd be like, I remember when I was 10 and used to leave my goldfish on the kitchen table. And you'd be like, oh, okay, I guess he wants me to clean up my goldfish. Will, as we discussed, he is willing to leave trash all over the house instead of taking out the trash. So that's alarming. Bobby, I have to imagine, is terrible. And then Broker, I remember hearing stories about his room and there just being mold everywhere and just his room being gross. And then, I think maybe you'd have trouble getting him to pay some rent. And then also I do remember he would leave his clothes in the washer for days on end. He would just start a laundry cycle and just leave his clothes in there. I also believe that he wouldn't take out the trash. And then I also must believe that he wouldn't be very fun or active either. I mean, he hasn't even come to play basketball, so he probably would just stay in his room or whatever he does. I don't know. But yeah, that's that. This is interesting. I have everybody here. I don't really know how to explain this best, but I'll just start with Hunter here. I did a little line grass for everybody. High school, Hunter was rocking about a 6.5. Or no, 7. Hunter was doing pretty good. You know, I guess this is more about looks. And then college, Hunter started working out. 8. Post-college, Hunter drops down. It's COVID times. He hasn't had a job in a while. He's getting a little chunky. Drops down to a 5. Okay? His hair, if you guys all remember how gross his hair was at that time, he's a 5 at best. And now, right now, I feel like Hunter's climbing back. He's got a girlfriend. His hair's cut. You know, he's just looking good. He's got a decent job. So right now he's a 7. He's back to his high school kind of median, but I think he might be shooting back up for that 8. Preston in high school, he was at his peak. He peaked in high school. 8. Then 7 in college. You know, I don't really remember this, but Preston says he gained a little weight. He said he was like 300 pounds. Post-college, I think, is when he actually gained all that weight, like we're talking. He's going down. And then right now, he's kind of plateaued at about a 6. You know, I think he's going up though. We'll see. Me, again, I was at the peak of my powers, looking good in high school. 8. Then college, I started working out. I don't know why I'm still going down. I should be higher than that in college. But post-college, COVID, you know what? Mine's wrong, because mine should be lower at high school, getting higher at college. Post-college, I was at my peak. And then a steep drop off now because I'm not working out as well. And, you know, my hair's not as good. So drop down. So ignore mine. Mine, I should be peaked post-college COVID when I was really pumping. And then now, post-marriage, I'm at my lowest. Dylan, high school, Dylan, a 5. You know, Dylan was a little chunky. He had the crazy hair. But college, he shoots up to a 7. Post-college, he's still pumping. Gets to an 8. And then right now I would say he is at a 9, looking good. The ladies are loving what Dylan's got right now. And anyway, I feel like Dylan's kind of on that upwards trajectory. Doug, high school, 6. College, Doug was doing good, bumped him up to a 7. Post-college, you guys all remember COVID times. He is all, his hair. Remember how long his hair was? Looked terrible. He dropped down to the lowest he's ever been at 5. But now, he's shooting back up. He's looking good. I love what Doug's got going on haircut-wise. Doug's doing good. Greg, pretty steady. High school, college, fine. But then post-college, again, another hair thing. Greg just had terrible hair for a while post-college. But now Greg's got a good haircut going on. Greg's looking pretty good. I think he's moving back up. He's at a 7. We'll see where he goes after that. Ashton, high school, he was a little skinny. Not the best. He was more of a 6.5. And then he hits that 7.5 in college. He hits his growth spurt, I feel like. Post-college, he peaks. Right? Peaks at 8, but now he's kind of on the down tick with the purple hair and whatnot. Bobby was never really great, but high school, whatever. College, I feel like, no. Post-college, he really took a big dip when he didn't have a job. He's living in the Saturdays basement, just not looking his best. And then he's, got the girlfriend now. I do believe he's shooting back up. I feel like he's on the uptick in terms of looks. And last 3, we got Will, high school. I got to imagine he was super skinny, not really the coolest cat. But now, as you see, right now he's at his peak at about a 7.5. Mustache looking good. Hair looking good. He's as fast as ever. He's got to be putting some weight on. Peak of Will's powers. Broker was, I don't even know. Broker was just going up. Post-college, he was at a 7. He was working out. I have a picture of him. He looks good post-college. COVID times, he was buff. And then right after COVID times, he shoots down to about a 5. And then Logan, I put Logan on there because high school, he was low. Then college, he starts getting back up. Then post-college, he starts working out with me. That's when he hits his peak at 8. But now he's going back down due to his, tattoos in general. I think he's getting skinnier maybe. But his general shenanigans have kind of shot him down for this line graph. Last, I wanted to do a QB aura thing. You can just look at it. I did this for fun the other day. Daniels and Lamar, the most aura. Joe Burrow, Allen, and Mayfield, they have great aura. I would say Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, they all have aura for different reasons. Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts is good looking. Mahomes is great at football. That's kind of what gives them, they have the same aura for different reasons. Average aura there with Flacco and Stafford, Jordan Love. Bad aura with like Wilson, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, I think is poor aura. Derek Carr, obviously. And then F is Danny Dimes and Deshaun Watson. So that is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you understand those really insightful line graphs. But I will talk to you guys later. And peace out.